Guys, how you doing? Coaching with the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. And we will see who pops on here. There's a lot to talk about. So we'll see. Chimes are good today. Yep. Energy's good. A little weird this morning, but better this afternoon after listening to music. Yep. Yep. So 2 people are on, but no one has popped up here yet. So we'll see. Hello, Adrian. How are you? Hey, Veronica. How's the North Country? Yeah, it's 9 p.m. there. Wow. So, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. 6 hours difference. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Gray. It's sunny in Detroit today, so we're lucky. About 47 degrees. Yeah, so we're lucky with that. Yep. We're lucky with that. It's been gray here for, gosh, days. Okay, so Bailey with the noodles, okay? Every day we eat Progresso hearty chicken soup and chicken noodle soup, right? I can get it out. I like the same food all the time. I don't really like food, so when I find something that I like that will fill up my stomach, it'll be, you know, that's what I do, right? So every day he gets 9 noodles. So yeah, it helped with his he's sick for 2 days again. So it helped to get him out of his sickness. Yeah, he's allergic to chicken, so we have to wash the noodles off. Hello, Kathy. How are you? Yeah, Veronica, we don't have snow here either. Probably not till after Christmas, they said. But it's dark at 3 o'clock. Wow. Here it's about 5 o'clock. Yeah. And the winter solstice is only a couple of weeks away. And then on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, it starts to tick back up where we're headed into spring. Not really, but it's a good thing to think about, right? It's, it's something to think about. I love about the middle of February when it's light out at 6 o'clock. That means we're headed to spring. Hopefully we won't be here, though, in February. So, hopefully we'll be settling in Kihei, Maui for the rest of our lives. So we'll see what happens with that. Yep. So then, Veronica, I'm going to be like 12 hours away from you. Yeah. Yep. So, because Veronica is in Switzerland, right? Or Sweden. I get them mixed up. Sorry. Yeah. I think she's in Sweden, I think. So, okay. Wait for another couple minutes. I'm glad everybody is popping on here. It's awesome. That means that we got lots to talk about, which we do. So, Sweden? Okay. She's in Sweden. So, that's cold. That's really cold. No thanks. No thanks. I'll take Hawaii over that. I'll take Hawaii over Metro Detroit. I'm good. I'm very good. It's been, it's one thing we're going to talk about, so I'm going to talk about it now, right? Is that my ascension process and those around me who are doing it at a different pace, right? Because no one's on the same pace. I'm finding a lot of, hey, Susan, I'm finding a lot of things, guys, that have changed in the last, probably the last 6 months, okay? I am extremely sensitive now to chemicals, like to clean the floor with or to clean the counters with and things like that. I've never been sensitive to that stuff before, but now sometimes it's so bad I have to put a mask on, which is bizarre. But I know that's part of the ascension process, right? As we move forward, as we become lighter, right? Our human body starts to change. And I've noticed all kinds of things that in the last 6 months have really, really changed to the point of I understand what it is, right? But my three dimensional history, right, is confused. Okay, so the thing that I've had to be conscious of is making sure that when ego, right, or just history, right, I have to remind myself, no, this part of the process. And for me, the goal is getting to Kihei Maui, right, and writing and again and channeling the books. So, which is another thing we're going to talk about too. So this process is difficult. It's difficult. It is definitely different for this old, 5,000-year-old soul Capricorn or more, right? So understanding that we've been in the third dimensional energy for 12,000 years, okay? So all of us here today and in the future, right, have all lived in 3D. So for us, as we do our work, as we allow, right, as we allow ourselves to become more connected to the universe, more connected to our spirit guides, our guardian angels, right? And they change, they interchange all the time. The more that you know, the lighter you become, the more the more fourth dimensional energy that passes through you, right? And the less you are in the third dimensional muck or mud, right? There are changes in the human body that are alarming, right? It can be very frustrating because your body's in flux. Does that make sense? Right? Your body's changing. The energy's shifting. For me, since reading the Telos books, I'm in the middle of book 3. My ascension, what I know is, oh my God, it's through the roof. I never used a highlighter so much in my life as I have in the past 2 months, okay? I know a lot of the stuff, I know a lot of the things that were written in, I think it was 1997, I think maybe 2007, I'm not sure, that were channeled by a woman who channeled the Lemurians, right? Which is who I'm going to channel once we get to Kihei. And I mean, it was just confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, right? And the books were brought to me by a woman, Laura, who came into my life 6 months ago, 8 months ago, just out of the blue. That's how it works, see? And that's how I've learned that when things come to me, because I allow, right? I have to. If I don't allow, it backs me up. That's for every human being on the planet, right? Is that we have to understand that we have to be able to allow things to be brought to us, right? And asking for what we want. Now, for me, they know my story, and they know all of our stories, right? They know every single thing from the day we're born, the day we're going to die, and all the chapters in between, right? We do not until we can allow them to show us, number one. Number two, bring us what we need, what we're supposed to do next, right? But we have to get to a certain level of allowing. And it's so hard. It's so hard for grown people. I mean, hell, I'm 60. I'll be 61 in 3 weeks, I think. Something like that, 3 weeks. And I think about that. I think, okay, I talk to people who are 23, 24, 25 years old, and they're going through their ascension, and they're all like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful, and all these other things. And I'm thinking, it's really hard for, especially Capricorns or Earth signs, but pretty much anybody who is grown, right? Because we're all of our thoughts, all of our memories, all of our everything is tied up in the third dimension, right? And as I especially move forward and I ascend, things are changing quickly, right? So I'm more sensitive to chemicals. The things I used to worry about, like my house and things like that being absolutely perfect all the time and things like that. I think Lee sometimes thinks that I'm lazy and not doing anything, but that's something that we have to deal with, right? As we ascend, right? third dimensional activity slows down, right? Does that make sense? Right? So I had to learn to allow myself to be, right? Just sit. I might read the Telos books for a while, and then I have to take a nap, because when I'm reading the Telos books, then that we're channeled, and I speak out loud when I read, right? That's the easiest way for me to not only learn, but also to put that out to the universe, right? So it's kind of a double thing. I'm kind of trying to accomplish two things, right? I'm trying to understand and have it resonate with me, because I hear, if I read to myself, it doesn't stay anywhere in my head. It just doesn't work, right? So I've learned that if I talk out loud, but then as I talk out loud, I'm in ascension, okay? I'm up. So, and it resonates so much with me that I'm constantly, you guys know my posts, right? I'll say this, or I'll say truth and things like that. So I'm highlighting things going truth, line after line. I know it all. It all resonates with me, which I'm thankful for, right? Spirit just said, because you're smarter than you take credit for. And that's just who I've always been, right? I don't know how we're gonna get to Kihei. I kind of have a sense of how we're gonna get there, right? Getting to Maui and what I'm gonna do. But what comes with that, and Spirit and I had this conversation this week, is the pressure that comes with that, right? He told me on Monday? Today's Thursday, Monday. We were having a conversation, and again, my conversations with Spirit guys is just me talking out loud, right? And the chimes will ring. And I'm like, okay, that's confirmation, right? I very seldom have a conversation with Spirit where we're having a conversation back and forth. He's listening. They're listening, I should say, right? All of them are listening, and I got all tingles in my heart right now, and all giddy, because I know Spirit has said he finally on Facebook Live recognizes to the people that there's more than just one of us, that there's a whole tower of guides above every human being on the planet, right? And they're there to problem solve for you. They're there to bring you what you need, bring you what you want, but you have to allow it. That's hard. It is hard not to be in control. It is hard not to want to grab it and say, okay, I need to work on this right here. I don't work on anything anymore. Only thing I do now is read. And I do that maybe 3 times a week, right? So that's why I have time to do readings and things like that. But usually in December, my readings dry up, and that's exactly what is happening again this year, which I'm fine with, right? Because I know, and they know, that if I am worried about doing readings, the books will be last. That's just the way it is, right? Because I'm so I am so what's the word? Connected, I should say, to, if somebody books a reading, then I want to get them and talk to them as soon as I can, because if I was booking a reading with somebody, I would want to get in to talk to them as soon as I could, right? So that's kind of how I work, right? What I would want from another person is how I've always been. So, and that's good and bad in that, right? But usually it's to serve other people. So Spirit this year especially, all of them have made it a point, because we need to get to Maui, right? I keep getting that feeling of them grabbing my chest, right? And pulling me like that to Maui, okay? So I know it's gonna happen soon, okay? But on Monday we had this talk, I should say, it wasn't really a conversation, a talk about, because I was feeling scared. There was fear based in me on Monday. And of course, in the shower, it's where I do my best work. And I'm like, I don't understand, why I'm afraid today. Because I can feel it around my heart. That's how I'm heart-based, as every human is. But many, many times our ego gets involved and takes that energy and transfers it someplace else, right? So I'm like, I don't understand, Spirit, why I am afraid today, why I have this energy around my heart. And Spirit says fear. And I went, fear? Yeah, you think, yeah, I think you're, yeah, yeah, it is fear. It's fear of the future. It's fear of not knowing what the future is. And he says it's responsibility. There's more responsibility there than you have here, Bill. And so we kind of did have a conversation. I shouldn't say that we didn't. It was later that we didn't. And I said, because he just says like words, like responsibility. I'm like, yeah, I know there's more responsibility there. Because he wants me to think, right? Not just be told. That's how they work, especially for me, you know. I have to work along with them to understand, right? To grasp hold. And I said, okay, I understand the fear, and he goes, responsibility. And I said, yes. And he says, like I've said before, you're going to miss the time in Detroit because you will not have that time that you have had and are having when you get when you get back home. And they've said that I'm going back home for probably the last year, which makes me all, inside, right? All happy and all, again, that just happened in the last like 9 to 12 months, right? It's because it's been happening for two and a half years. See? So having that conversation with them on Monday, and as soon as we had that conversation, all that fear completely went away, right? That's how it works, right? That's how it works. I'm blessed with the ability to be clairvoyant, right? And I had these conversations. And I'm clairvoyant for a reason, to be able to have those conversations with them to get me where I need to be in my older age, right? Or my, being 61 or whatever. See? So on that, now Spirit wants to pipe in and say, as we move into the fourth dimension, energy, right? 2022, 2023, 2024, more of you will be able to you will be more clairvoyant, you will understand, he says, because the veil is in the process of being lifted. Now the veil is the veil between third dimensional and fourth dimensional energy, okay? Now the veil for me is very, very thin because I'm reading the Telos books, right? They need the veil to be very, very thin for me so that I can experience fourth dimensional energy, which I do most days. Okay, I'm usually there most days. It's very, very hard to bring myself down to drive my car to go someplace or even to eat. Again, I'm not a big eater, but I know that I have to eat to keep myself going, right? And so that kind of thing, like drive my car, go to the grocery store, whatever, right? It's exhausting for me. Now it's just, where it used to be fun before, now it's exhausting. So again, more changes, right? So Spirit says, so as the veil is lifted, as the veil is thinning, right? More and more people will be connected to us with an easier connection. Again, clairvoyancy. He also says telepathic, okay? Speaking without words. That is going to be phenomenal. I mean, that is going to be like, wow, And he says by 2030, be able to transport ourselves places. That to me seems like a long shot, but I'm not going to discount anything that they say because I don't know, right? But that's going to be lovely. I mean, how cool is that? Kind of like a whole Star Trek kind of thing. I don't know, but I know. He just said, don't doubt. Don't doubt. I'm not doubting. I'm just saying that for the average person, right? That seems kind of far-fetched a little bit, right? So, okay, so Spirit says with that, he says, no pressure on anybody to follow my journey. Every single person on this planet is at their own pace, their own speed. Okay? I know people who have been doing this for 20 years, right? And my ascension has happened much faster than theirs is, right? No judgment on my part. I don't believe there's any judgment on theirs either. But they have to get me at a certain point to move, okay? Because, and also what I learned in the Telos books, and this is so true. This is one of the things that I was like, yes, this is true. You have to do your work where you're at before you move to the next place. Okay, does that make sense? Don't think that, well, I'm going to move to my new house and blah, 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 and that's when I'm going to lose weight, or that's when I'm going to really start my process, or that's when I'm going to be more spiritual. Chimes, no. That's ego. And when I read that this week, I was like, oh, hell yes. That is so freaking true. Because Spirit and I had conversations in, 2018, end of 2018, 2019. I'm like, I don't understand why I'm still here. You told me we were moving. I thought we were going to be already there. You know, blah, 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 right? All that ego stuff, right? Living in that place that I no longer live in. Thank God, most of the time, right? And now I understand why. See? I understand. Because he would say to me, you have to do your stuff here. You have to do all your stuff here. Well, why come I can't just do it there? Because you can't. You got to do it here. You've got to have your ascension here. You have to do you have to do all of the work where you're at now so that you can transfer that work and that knowledge, because that is going to be a different type of situation. That is something new. That is different energy. So you have to be completely at a place that we need you to be at. So do the work. Then the Telos book showed up, right? And again, I've learned, guys, that anything that is presented to me, I'm going to do. I'm going to think about. I have something like the books. I think I said before, I haven't read a book since 1974. I think I was a freshman in high school, right? Everything else I wasn't reading anything in high school. You know, I wasn't reading anything at all in high school. So, sorry guys, that was my phone. That's really loud. So these are intriguing to me because I understand them, right? So will I read more? Probably so. Whatever is presented to me, right? I've learned that, and when I do readings and things like that, guys, people will say, well, I think I need to work. No. Don't grab something and say, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do spiritually, and I think no, you can't do that. Trust me, I know. You can't plan anything like that. You can't plan anything, okay? Because as soon as you plan it, ego's involved, and then you think that's what you want to do, you don't have a choice on what you're going to do. It's already pre-written. It was pre-written when you came to Earth, when you were born. Do we know what it is? No. Right? Unless we have an amazing sense of knowing, Spirit says. Right? An amazing sense of being one with our guides, which many people can be. You know, that many people can whoops, I'm gonna turn this up because somebody said they can't hear me. Understanding that we have to allow, we have to understand that whatever's presented to us, there's a reason for it, right? We have to understand that that you can even say, so Spirit, what is this? Why is this in my life? I don't understand what that is. And then wait for the answer to come, right? Patience. I talked to somebody yesterday, and she is in a place where she's on the cusp of breaking through, right? And she had all these plans on what she wants to do spiritually and things like that. And then I said, well, we might as well back up on that and forget that stuff. You know, again, how do you talk to Spirit all day long? She goes, no. What's all that stuff in your? What's all that energy in your body? Oh, you know, she named off a bunch of things. But well, if you don't lose that right there, if you don't lose that energy that's in your body, you can talk all day long. You can talk, and you don't talk to Spirit to let that energy go. You're dead in the water. You are in muck, in the 3D muck, up to your waist, right? And you're going to get really, really frustrated. You're going to get really, really angry. And you're going to be like, you're going to be down on yourself. You're going to have a really like, oh, I don't understand how I can't do. And she says to me, well, Bill, I've been doing that for like 5 years. And I don't understand how come I'm not where I want to be. Because it's not you who decides. I don't have any decision in that. I said, you're up into the 3D muck to your waist. And she goes, what? I'm like, and I explained it to her. She's like, oh my God, Bill, I am. Yeah. Everyone has to talk out loud. You have to get that energy out of your body. Now, if you got a different way of doing it, God bless you, right? But for most people, most humans, our throat chakra is blocked from childhood, school, jobs, right? We can't say stuff. Whether you're either beat down or shut up, or no one wants to hear your opinion, or you just do your work, or wherever it might be, right? And some of us were blessed with people who listened to us, right? I was one of those people most of the time, right? But others were not so lucky. Again, soul's journey, right? So understanding that when you express yourself, when you express your anger, which maybe you weren't able to do when you were younger. I express my anger all the time. Piss my mom off, but she'd be like, "Who do you think you're talking to? What's up with that? What's up with that attitude?" I was 13, the Capricorn in the family. I was old as dirt, right? I thought I knew. That didn't serve me very well, but I got through it, right? Right, as we all did, and that's what we have to understand is that as we've grown up, let's say, right? And you're not able because you don't think that anyone will listen, that you don't think that that it's right, that you think it's kind of weird. Oh, no. Talk out loud. Talk to Spirit all freaking day long. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're pissed off, tell Spirit you're pissed off, right? If you're happy because the food you're eating is fantastic, Spirit, this food is amazing, thank you, right? Whatever it is, right? But you have to if you're happy, express it. Put it out to the universe. Because guess what happens? It comes back. Anger. The cool thing about anger is anger doesn't come back if you give it to Spirit. Happiness comes back. Good energy comes back. Why? Because you let all that crap go. Let all that stuff go to Spirit. Trust me, many, many conversations at this table with MF this and MF that when I started this journey almost 7 years ago. We have to take it upon ourselves to express how we feel. If you're pissed off, then say so. Tell them why you're pissed off. Let that energy out. As long as it's not an hour-long rant where ego's involved. I'm mad about this, and I don't know why this happened, and I don't know why this happened, and that doesn't work. You're pissed off, cool. But giving them a laundry list of things you're mad about, no, that's ego. Right? That's your little kid inside going, I need somebody to save me. Well, no one can save you but you. And that's by letting that stuff out, doing your Steve Noble guided meditations, right? Taking time for you. Especially during the pandemic. I mean, come on, right? If you can't do it now, you're never going to be able to do it, right? So it's super, super important to understand that. So as you go through your journey, and many, many people will do this, they'll stop talking out loud to Spirit. Oh, but I stopped doing that. I think I'm pretty good. Okay, what are you talking to me for? Well, I really need your help. And okay, well, they probably could have helped you understand that. Again, I love talking to people all day. I love it. But it's about, I love when people don't have to call me anymore. Don't have to make appointments anymore, right? That's what it's all about. Because as soon as people leave, there's another batch of people that are living in 3D and they're trying to get the hell, and they don't understand why they're in there. Okay, so Adrian says, that makes so much sense. So maybe I should stop planning. Exactly. I think we talked about that before, right? What about manifestation? We can manifest what we want. Of course we can. Of course we can. Now, will it come in your time frame? No. I thought manifestation, because I was never taught, right? I thought manifestation was just asking for what you want, right? Okay, Spirit, I'm ready to go to Maui. What the hell is going on? Come on, let's go. I'm ready. It doesn't matter if I'm ready or not, because I'm not ready, right? I wasn't ready, right? It wasn't it. I truly can't believe the person I am today over 12 months ago. Okay, how different I am. But that's because of everything is coming down to the move, right? Laura coming in and saying, have you read the Telos books yet? No, what are the Telos books? Oh, they're written by the Lemurians. I said, those are who I'm going to channel for. Well, you're supposed to read them. I'm like, oh, okay. And me being the procrastinator that I am, I went, oh, okay. And then she went, did you get those books yet? And I'm like, no. She goes, you got to read the books before you can go. Well, me being, well, okay, then I got to read those books, right? So I'm always willing to do what I need to do to get where I want to get, right? To be who I want to be, okay? But manifestation, it goes hand in hand with doing the work, okay? Stop planning because you can't plan, right? Because our plan is third dimensional planning. And our plan is what we've done for centuries to, number one, stay alive, to not live in fear. It's all based in that, right? It's all, hi, Laura. Laura just popped on. So understanding that you can, I know, Spirit says no long-term plans at all. No long-term plans at all. Because you may have to come where we've got a crossroads, right? Well, if you plan on going left and they're going to take you right, what you going to do? Well, Spirit, what are you doing? I'm supposed to be there. I want to go there. You don't have a choice where you want to go. I'm taking you there if you'd like it or not. So you can either go with the program and chillax and get your ego out of the way, right? Or we can make it really hard on you because if you're going to plant your feet in that third dimensional muck, right? And sit there and take all that energy that you're going to get you to stop wanting to go left and go right. Okay. And Spirit says, and it's not punishment at all. It is all about allowing and not pre-planning, right? So Veronica says, I'm afraid of doing it wrong. Exactly. Everyone is afraid of doing everything wrong because we're taught throughout our lifetimes that hey Jocelyn, how are you? I want to talk to you about your new job. So how is it? So I'm hoping everything's going good. So understanding that for centuries we have tried to do the right thing to stay alive. And I've never said this to anybody ever, so this is a pure channel right here, guys, okay? That we are all fear-based to some point in our lifetimes, okay? We're afraid of doing something wrong, believing that if I do something wrong, I'm not gonna get what I want. So instead of allowing, we meticulously try to do the things that we believe we have to do to get what we want. Well, that doesn't work. Because trust me, then you're wrapped up in meticulously trying to plan again all the steps that you take. No, it doesn't work. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Until Spirit would say, just stop. Bill, you need to allow. And these Facebook Lives, you guys know that when I channel, it is just directly from them. And I've learned a lot by doing Facebook Lives because I get some of it because I'm still kind of sort of conscious on what's coming out of my mouth, right? We have to allow. We have to allow. And we have to get out of, see, planning is part of fear. It's all connected. If I plan my steps like I did in the 12th century, guess what, right? The 13th century, 14th century. What I can do is, that's how I stayed alive. For some reason, I know that. Well, that's because you still have energy from those centuries, right? We all have that energy that comes with us. I really never believed that until this year, but it's so true. Again, he didn't say anything different, right? Until this year, reading the Telos books, everything makes sense. That we do carry energy from other lifetimes, right? We do carry remembrances from other lifetimes, right? And it's never the good stuff, guys. Just like our ego now. Our ego is not there to bring us pleasantries. Our ego's there because it believes it's going to save your life by showing you the danger. Not danger, but we remember it as danger, right? Because we recoiled. See, as a kid, as a young adult, as a young employee, chimes, right? And you do one or two things. You either get along and understand and try to cope and try to find the balance, right? And enjoy your job because you're respected, because it's a give and take, which it should be, okay? You're heard. So very, very important. You have to be heard in everything that you do. If you have a partner who doesn't allow you to be heard, you need to kick that out the door, right? Because you're teaching your children how it is in their future lives to not be heard. And that's always something that either can go one or two ways. It can go the fact that they become these crazy adults who are always on the rampage, who are always trying to be heard because their example was, well, my mama or my daddy was never heard. Or they can be taught how to be heard by parents who actually listen to their children and what they want to do, what their feelings are, what their expressions are. Those are the parents that, again, but if you didn't learn that, right, it's tough. Changing who you are in your 20s, or your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and beyond, it's not an easy thing to do, but it's doable. That's the thing. So Susan says, yes, how do we let that fear go? How you let that fear go is, again, spirit. Like I did in the bath, like I did in the shower. So spirit, what's this? Hey Ellie, what's this fear? What is that? What is that energy? It's fear about what you're going to. But because you know your life is changing, you know it's going to be different. Not only is the landscape different, that the energy is different, that your life's going to be totally different, Bill. You know. A totally different path, right? That's scary, right? Just like when I did quit my job almost 7 years ago, and I started doing this, learning this for a living. I'm like, what the hell? Why would you make me quit my job? I don't get it. I was perfectly happy. Well, no, I was horribly unhappy. But I was in that, I could control that, right? This I can't control. I've learned that in 6.5, almost 7 years, I can't control anything. Got to let that fear go, Susan, right? Spirit, I need you to help me get rid of this fear. You help me get rid of this fear. And then as you work on it, Susan, when it pops up, you go, oh, no, ego, right? No ego. That we are not having that fear. You got to let that fear go because that's not true. We're going to be just fine. You got to let that energy go. Got to let that fear go. That's how you do it. Every time you become fearful, if you do that, if you do the exercises, if you're conscious, right? And you're not going to get that right off the bat, right? It's not going to be something that you do automatically until it is something that you do automatically. And once you've done that, you're on your way to mastering the fear. Because it's going to continue to come up, right? Because it is inside of our DNA. Right? It's inside of our DNA. And the only way that we are going to be able to release it is to know that it's there. Right? Many, many times our hearts are sad. Why are they? Well, why is it sad? Is it sad because you're moving on from the life that you know? Is it because you're not moving on with the life that you know that you are supposed to be doing? But refusing to because you're in fear? See? Is your heart sad because you lost somebody, right? And maybe the person from high school that you've known forever, and all of a sudden they don't want to be your friend anymore, or they do something that makes you look at them different? Well, that's for a reason. For a reason, guys. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing. They will, as you go through your ascension, as you understand yourself more, as you allow, right? As you talk to spirit like your best friends, because you got to, right? They're the ones that take care of you every day. I know. Spirit says many times, tell him this, Bill. Tell him we're the ones that wake you up in the morning. It makes sense to me, right? At 2 a.m., but it's morning, right? See? Again, it is understanding that we're not in control, they are. And when we try to control the way we think, what we do, no, it doesn't work, right? If you want to control the way that you think, then you have to allow. Have to allow that energy, that block that is above you, that is around you, right? That cement cap that is put on all of us, century after century, not to think, not to allow. Do as you're told. How many times did your parents tell you that? Do as you're told. That doesn't work, right? Right? Not that you should be negotiating with your children, because that can work sometimes, right? If you're that emotional, connected person, right? But the words that you say, we remember as kids. Everybody does, right? So it's getting past that, right? It's getting past that I know. Spirit says that ego transmission, right? That keeps us in that pattern of fear. Keep us in that pattern, right? So letting it go is recognizing it, Spirit says, which is true. You have to recognize what it is. And Spirit, what am I fearful about? What is that? Again, there's to be nothing that you cannot say to your guides. Spirit, they know everything anyway. They're just waiting for the dumb human to go, dude, I need you to help me with this, because I don't know what this is. Dude, what's this energy? Spirit, what's this energy? I don't get it. I mean, who else can you talk to that's going to basically take the stuff away from you and make you better? And when it doesn't, okay, then I'm hanging on to it. Again, 3 fingers, right? Okay, Spirit, you got to take that away because it's not mine. That fear is not mine, Spirit. I know everything's going to be fine. Everything is going in the right direction. We are going to be just fine. And they take it away. But again, you have to participate in that. Why? So that we feel it. So that we're part of it, right? Because if human does not participate, they think it's easy. We all do that, right? Yeah, we all do. See? So that's why they challenge us. That's why they make it so important that we are part of that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I can't turn that down, and I don't know why. So it is super important to understand that we have to be part of that. Now, Spirit wants to talk about, he said a little bit a minute ago, about people leaving your life, okay? And you have to allow it, all right? You have to allow it. You're being uncorded as you move into the 4th dimensional energy from people, places, and things that no longer serve you, okay? And understanding that fact, understanding that we change jobs for a reason, right? We change homesteads for a reason. We change people in our lives for a reason, okay? And understanding that's happening because we're in ascension and they are not, okay? You're headed for the 4th dimensional energy and understanding it and allowing it. They probably are not, okay? Because for me, I've had 2 major losses of family, right? That were accorded to me heavy in their whole lifetimes, okay? And the past year and a half, last one just happened about 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, where when it happened with one person, I understood it the next day. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. And then 3 weeks ago, I was like, oh. And a day after something happened, I went, well, that makes sense, okay? Because they need me to be able to pick myself up and Bailey up and Lee up and leave everything that's here in my apartment today. We're giving it all away. Plants, furniture, dishes, pots and pans. We're taking nothing because the house I'm buying is furnished, okay? So leaving everything that I know, including my family, my friends, and being, I know, he just showed me being lifted up in a cloud and being deposited in Kihei Maui, okay? And the preparation is now for that, right? So understanding that these 2 people in my life, which I dearly love, I totally understand now why things happened. I understand that I'm still brother, I'm still uncle, right? only it's not deeply connected anymore. It is, they're there. I love them, right? And we're still family, right? But my life is going there and their life is on the mainland, okay? So understanding that, my friends and my family, especially my friends, that happened in the last 12 months, 13, 14, 15 months, where I don't see much of my friends anymore. I only have 3, but the pandemic has made a difference, right? And me being understanding that, okay, this is all part of the process because I have friends who don't live in town and they're now friends without me, which is wonderful, right? And it didn't happen. This is what's so freaking just cool as hell. Didn't happen until the last 2 years. Once we found out we were moving to Maui, right? So they took care of that because they came together because of me. And they've known each other with me for 30 years, right? But once I'm plucked out and I'm gone, I'm 6 hours time zones away, 10 hours by plane, right? A lot of people ain't coming to see me once a month, right? And I'm not coming back here. Chimes, no plans. But again, who knows, right? For visits or whatever, I don't know. Maybe family members passing away or something like that. But understanding that that I can see why that's going on. I understand why. See? So as you ascend, as you understand more about yourself, the more that you allow, what you have to understand too is brothers and sisters and friends are going to be removed from your life, okay? And you have to go, okay, I can see why. Because she doesn't understand who I am anymore. He doesn't get me anymore, right? They don't, I'm like a fish out of water with them. Now, I can still relate when I need to, but I'm here. And they haven't even started their ascension yet, right? Maybe they're not supposed to, okay? Maybe they're not supposed to. So that's what's so very, very important, that we understand that people are going to leave our lives as we ascend, because again, guys, nobody's on the same level at all. Everybody has their own path, Spirit says. Everybody has their own journey. Now, that might intersect, right? But it's not going to be the same. Again, I know people have been doing this for 20, 25 years. And my ascension, because of Maui, is so much faster than theirs. And we can have conversations about stuff and we get each other, right? But I've been doing this less than 7 years, right? So I used to think, well, how come but I don't do that anymore, right? Because just because I've been doing it for so much longer than I've been doing the work, let's say, in the community, it's not about that. It's about they have a job for me to do and it's not here. It's getting myself ready here so they can pluck me out, me, Bailey, and Lee, and then pop us off and drop us off in Kihei, Maui. See? So again, understanding that, would I have understood that a year ago? Not at all. I know. Spirit says, accepting the process, allowing it to happen, understanding that we can't control it, understanding that you are going to become a different person, because we do. Did I ever think I'd be this human being? Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Can I see myself being an author? Yes. A year ago, 8 months ago, not at all. Right? So understanding that what I saw myself as, what you see yourself as, can change like that. Right? Because you did a meditation, because you read a book, because you joined a website, right? Or a Facebook page, right? All in what you're guided to do and allowing yourself to do it. And even if you join something and you go, you know what? All this right here, I don't get it. It's not resonating with me at all. Okay, cool. Leave it. At least you moved forward. And that's all they care about. Right? Instead of allowing ego to say, no, that's not really going to be something you want to know about. That's, that right there, that's crazy stuff. That stuff, those people are nuts. Okay, that's ego. All ego. It's stopping you from moving forward. In fact, probably 2 weeks ago, I gave a client 6 different Facebook pages that I'm part of. I've been part of them for about 2 years. I have probably even been on one of those pages in probably a year. Okay, but I'm still part of it, right? So for me at the time, it worked. I could ask questions. I could do all the kind of things that I needed to ask that I didn't understand. And that's what they're for, see? So they're there for you to express and to feel wanted and to feel part of the community. That's what they're there for. But then when you outgrow them, right? Do I leave? No, I'm still part of those Facebook groups, right? Because again, me being who I am, you never know when I might need them, right? To go back there and go, you know what, guys? I don't understand this. Does anybody else have this experience? That's what it's about. See? Community. Understanding that community is always going to be there to help you and take care of you and help you understand and help by answering questions. And then when somebody answers, when 2 people or 3 people answer the same question differently, then you got to go, which one resonates with me, right? And you can even say in there, well, this one right here, I don't really get how that happens. It's just how that person has received the information. Again, it's their journey, right? That's why when people and I have a conversation, again, like yesterday, people who challenged everything that Spirit said. Finally, I went, okay, you're not talking to Bill Hobart. You're talking directly to my guides, which are connected to your guides and what you need to do in your life. And it's your choice if you want to do it or not. I'm just giving you the information. I'm just channeling what you need to know. That's why you booked a session with myself. And little by little, they started to get it. By the end, they kind of got it, right? Now, all I'm doing is delivering the information, right? It's their responsibility to do whatever. I got a letter on Tuesday from a person that I talked to a year ago, and he goes, Bill, when we talked a year ago, you said I was going to be doing something with work, and they were going to start to come after me. Well, I think it's starting. Took a year. See? So again, I don't have any time frame when I'm channeling at all. And you shouldn't either when you're living. Oh, that's so true, Spirit. You can't have any expectations. You can't have any, I know. He says you can plan to live and plan to enjoy and plan to stay safe and plan out your life this much. It's not just survival, Spirit says. It's living, right? Chimes. Not living in fear, he says. Understanding the fear is based on generations of who you are, right? And understanding that you're smarter than the fear. Because ego will grab hold of that and reinforce the fear. No, you're smarter than that, right? It's true. It's true. But you have to allow your mind to calm down. You have to allow for your past, your childhood, to be gotten rid of. Either by talk therapy, talking with Spirit out loud, then you have to start to forgive people, to heal your heart, to heal that little person inside of you. There's all kinds of stuff we have to do, guys. Because we've never done it before. That's what you have. I know. Spirit, that is so freaking cool. He said because humanity's never done this before. So you guys are in elementary school, he says. Right? You are going to be the ones that people look at in the future of how to do it. Which is true. I know. He says you were born at this time for a reason. You're born at this time so that you can be the example, he says. And no one's going to do it perfectly. Ever. You're never going to do anything perfectly. If you do, it's way too detailed. And you're not receiving messages that are passing you by when you're focused on one little thing. Right? So we're the example for the future of how to do it. Because how many souls that are already born in their 20s and 30s and 40s, even Capricorns, let's say, right? I know how Capricorn is. So there's going to be other people on the planet who are in their 20s and 30s who have 5,000 years of baggage, right? Are they going to automatically know how to get rid of that? No. They're looking at people like myself. They're watching my videos on my YouTube channel, right? They're watching Facebook Lives on Thursdays at 3 o'clock on Bill Clairvoyant, right? Right? Whatever it might be, or watching somebody else on how to do it. So we have to be the examples on how they need to do it. And you're not going to do it perfectly. You're going to do it on your own time. It's about being conscious enough and free enough to absolutely ask for what you want, release that negative energy, talk. Okay? There's a reason why, if you're not a talker, there's a reason why. It either happened this lifetime, last lifetime, or the lifetime before, Spirit says. Where if you spoke, it was you lived in fear. It's the only reason people are shy. Humans not made to be shy. Humans made to be bold and loud and in control and balanced, Spirit says, which is true. You know, so if you have a child or you know somebody that is bashful, that is shy, there's a reason why. Probably not this lifetime. They may have just, again, it was probably last lifetime if they're 5 years old, right? They're bashful because something happened in prior lives to make them quiet this lifetime. And that's okay. It's okay. It's their journey. But that's when we have to protect them, right? We have to make sure that the strong of us make sure that we are that we can take care of them and protect them. So Adrian says, what about people that cross your path and you think that the reason isn't right? I wonder if I'm making it up in my mind. Okay, so what you have to say is, okay, Spirit, why is so and so in my life? Why are they crossing my path? What is up with that? Right? And you got to feel it. Got to be. Again, is it going to be instantaneously? Probably not. It depends on where you are in your journey, right? It's true. The more that you work on yourself, the more that you allow, the more that you let your past lives and that energy go, right? The sooner you are connected to the fourth dimensional energy, connected to everything that is there, including your guides. See? So as long as you're still a half-blood from Harry Potter, right? In between, that's when you have to go, okay, Spirit, I don't understand why this person is in my life. Why is this person causing aggravation in my life? Or, again, it's probably about you, right? Letting stuff go, right? Understanding that doesn't work, right? Pushing them out of your life, which that's a big thing. Saying, okay, you don't work for me, you got to go. What do you mean I don't? No, you need to go. But we've known each other 20 years. I know, and you need to go. I'm sorry, but you need to go. See? So Adrian, you're not making up anything in your mind. Ego is going to try to pacify you, Spirit says. Ego is going to try to tell you that things will be fine. Okay? Don't worry about it. There's something to worry about. Well, that's not true. Okay? It is about how do they make you feel. Make you feel uneasy, they got to go. They make you feel happy, okay. But what about them makes me feel happy? Is it their energy? Is it what they say? Is it how they look at me? What is it? See? Then my dear friend Teresa, let the quiet person know that you are there and see exactly. The person who is bashful, the person who is shy, the person who is quiet. Again, give them your energy by letting them know that you know that they're there, that you're there to help them, that you are there to be their voice if you have to be. Okay, it's important. There's a lot. I know. Spirit says there's a lot of pressure put on human today because we have to do some type of leadership, right? Future generations are going to look at us, as they leapfrog us into the future, which is fine. They're supposed to, right? I have seen and talked to many indigo children, right? And they're amazing to me. I'm just mesmerized by them. See? Well, those are the children. Those are the humans of the future. See? So I know. Spirit says it can be kind of confusing because there's like 3 TVs on and everything is playing something different in the future. It's like you're trying to pay attention to, okay, where do I fit in? Or also, how do I stay out of that? Well, how do I stay out of that confusion? Because again, our ego, our humanness, Spirit says, is there to make sure that we are safe, to make sure that we are taken care of, and to make sure that we are not living in fear. Okay? So that hour went really fast, guys. So I'm still doing readings. I post it every day. I send emails out every day, guys. So if you get those emails, I appreciate you just kind of like, don't unsubscribe, please. And everything, if you want to see past Facebook Live, they're on my YouTube channel, guys. There's ones I'm going to start doing again. Probably going to try to do 1 or 2 a week of just short ones, like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, about certain things that Spirit talks about during this time. And I got to find out how to get rid of that freaking loud noise right there. So thanks for joining me. Namaste, everybody. And if I don't talk to you before before Christmas, I will. I'll be back next week. But everything is going to start getting busy and everything, guys. So take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you soon. Probably next Thursday for Coaching with the Soul, Thursday at 3. Thanks, guys. See you.